Welcome to our video series Out of Hamsterrad. Here we like to present you a practical way out of debts that works. My name is Walter Berger. I am the founder and initiator of Taschengeld Management, an educational initiative on basic financial education and literacy based in Germany. In 2017 and 18 I conducted several webinars for the Volkshochschule Ottobrunn with the topic How to Get Out of Debts. They were conducted anonymously and free of charge. My goal for this webinar was to enable participants to see the reality of their current financial situation and to support them in reflecting their own behavior when it comes to dealing with money. We also try to show them a practical and understandable way to get out of debts and to motivate them for a self-determined, constructive approach in their daily life. This video series, Out of Hamsterrad, is based on this webinar, a little more comprehensive and repeatable and shareable as often as you want. For more information, just have a look on our website www.taschengeld-management.de. There you also can switch to the English version. So, you still want to get out of debt? In the first video, you maybe were confronted with some uncomfortable questions. I hope you have answered them. If not, I strongly recommend to do this now, before you continue. It is important to look at your own situation, how it really is, honestly, openly, constructively, and without blaming others for the circumstances. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to make a positive, lasting change. Maybe a short break, a little relief. But sooner or later you fall back into the same old behaviors and the drama will repeat again and again. In the following videos I'd like to show you a practical way of working yourselves out of debts. Does working out sound a little strange or even uncomfortable to you? Well, it requires an overview, a plan, discipline, and consistency. Do you still want to get out of debt? Great! Then let's start. To get an overview about the actual economic situation, I show you in the first step a simple financial status. In the second step, we check the revenues. In the third step, we get a clear picture about your current expenses and your spending behaviors. In step 4, we develop a debt cancellation plan. In step 5, I like to give you some thoughts about how to proceed when it comes to negotiating with creditors. In the sixth step, I may also give you some thoughts on how and with whom the current situation should be discussed. Overview provides orientation and shows possibilities in order to act appropriately. Mark Twain showed his deep wisdom about human beings when he wrote, "Having lost sight of our goals, we redoubled our efforts." When financial stress occurs, people tend to react short-sighted and emotional. Just think about when a big extra payment for heating costs arrives. If there are unexpected costs for a broken car. Or high dentist costs. Without reserves, you have to act smart without reacting hectically or emotionally. A realistic overview provides orientation and shows options for appropriate actions. For Hamsterrad, the board game for financial education, I developed a simple financial status. Let's have a little closer look at this now. Here, you can find out quite easily that the monthly income is 2,000 euros. Different expenses were grouped together and are in total 1,790 euros per month. 590 euros must be spent for the loans. 210 euros stay over per month. There are 3,000 euros in cash as assets. The loans are in total 8,000 euros. It shows that one is over-indebted. It seems that there is no acute problem. The current expenses can be paid. Monthly, even something stays over. If, for example, a bill for extra heating costs about 980 euros arrives, it could be paid in cash. If, for example, the rent increases by 150 euros a month, only 60 euros per month would stay over. If a second job is taken on a monthly base of 450 euros, the debts could be repaid or reserves could be built up. With such a simple financial status, you can quickly set up your current financial situation and get a better, clearer idea about the impact of different economic events and possible actions to take. To be able to pay the monthly expenses and to securely reduce the debts, you need to be sure about the income, that what can be counted with. Don't calculate extra payments, like a nice bonus, too optimistically. It's better to have a nice surprise than a big gap in your budget. We investigate now how certain you can be about your income. So, how certain can you be that you will have an income? Think about your job, your qualification, that what you have to offer to your company. More and more jobs will get lost in an increasingly digitized and automated world. The solution for the outsourced workers are many times not at all socially friendly. Investigate your employment situation with the following questions. Do you work project-related or are you employed? Do you have a temporary employment contract? What will happen next when the project is completed? What are the parts of your remuneration? Do you have a fixed salary? Maybe a Christmas or holiday bonus? When will you receive the extra payment? Can these be cancelled? What consequences would this have to you? Is your work useful, cost-covering, and profitable? Think about truly. If not, your employer's controller will ask these questions, because that's what he'll be paid for. Do you look occasionally for job offers in the internet or in the newspapers? How are the job opportunities for the qualifications you have to offer? Who can do your job today cheaper, faster, and more efficient? If there is a very noisy yes, why shouldn't your employer outsource this area? Do you think that you have a lifelong working contract with warranty? What will be the technological development in your working environment? Think also about the impact through digitization and automation. Which key competences are necessary? Do you have them? More unpleasant questions? Maybe you just thought that you wanted to know something about how to get easily rid of debts, and maybe you feel even more uncomfortable now. Stay positive. It could also be that you find through these investigations good arguments to ask for a raise, or to acquire an important additional qualification, or you change your current company for a more interesting challenge. In our first video, we discussed a way to split existing debts into different categories: new consumption, necessary consumption, urgent emergency cases, and satisfying fun purchases. We split now all the monthly payments into different categories. We want to find out how much money we usually spend per month, and we like also to get an idea what living costs are really essential and necessary. These informations are also important for a later conversation or a written offer to the creditor. And they like spreadsheets and detailed numbers. Let's get a detailed overview about the monthly spendings. What do you spend money on? What are the necessary expenses? Do you have an idea which cost could be reduced or even renounced? What percentage of the total costs is spent on each type of expenditure? In our example shown before, 33% of the total expenditure must be paid monthly for installments on debts. This calculation is quite simple. Monthly costs of a single expenditure, for example a car loan, divided by the total monthly costs. Please also think about what are the necessary basic costs and what could be renounced. These are your choices. It's your lifestyle and how you want to live. Freedom means also to decide consciously and responsibly. Sometimes it seems that it is not so easy to determine the exact amount of expenditure, because much is paid in cash. If you have this problem, that the money is just gone and you don't know where, just write down all your cash spendings, at least for a month. Collect bills and summarize them weekly. Find out how much money is spent on each type of expenditure and how much is spent in total. A cappuccino costs only €2.80, but the daily cappuccino costs more than €80 per month. And that's just the cappuccino.